Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course, and we're in basketball season now, and we figured why not? We're going to talk to some coaches, and our first coach is here, the head girls basketball coach at Plymouth High School. Of course, you know that's Ryan Ballard. How's it going? Of course, your team is set. You guys start your start scrimmages on Wednesday, and then games, I believe, start next week. So
yeah, we were going to extend another week for us. I pushed us back, but man, it's been awesome. Really, really excited to get back in the gym with our kids. Our kids work extremely hard in the off season. They're hungry. We're humble. We were definitely humbled last year. So our kids, man, they really battled all year, all summer and fall, and with weight room and workouts, and they're just really, really excited to be here. We had a great practice on Saturday. We brought the parents in. We let the parents experience a practice and let them try to go through it and practice with our kids and scrimmage with them. So that was a lot of fun for our team bonding and a little culture thing with our program that hopefully is a start to a new tradition. It was really, really cool to see the parents out playing their kids and trying to figure out, and our kids coaching them up on the drills and how to do things. So a lot of fun. So a lot of good positive energy over at Plymouth right now.
What was that like to have all the parents in there? It was it's always interesting because some of them played basketball not too long ago.
Yeah, we have some college basketball players there, and 4 college basketball players, and they were real excited to be a part of it. Like once we brought it up, and so it was cool for them. We wanted them just to kind of see what life is like as a Plymouth basketball player, like what their kids go through on a daily basis, so they can have a lot of respect for how hard their kids work, and also help them see like what the coaches are like on the court and behind closed doors, and just kind of give them a sneak peek of what Plymouth basketball is about, like just a reality.
Yeah, as someone that's seen a lot of things when a lot of practices, and obviously us media members get all the access we can and seeing everything, but not the public doesn't get that type of access though. So obviously it's very interesting for sure. But let's talk about let's talk about your team for a second. And some of the players coming back and some of the names to watch out for.
Yeah, so we lose Morgan Miller to U of M Dearborn. She's playing over at U of M Dearborn, and just what a great kid, and she set the culture for us moving forward. Like she didn't get the experience to success that we would hope that she could experience last year. We kind of had a really down year for our group, but she's on to bigger and better things. But I think she set up our group to be successful moving forward. Our best player is Megan McCarthy. We call her Megatron. And I think she's one of the coolest stories that a high school kid could have. I mean, she's coming off 2 ACL injuries. Last year, she was playing on a torn ACL that if it would have, it was partially torn. If it would have tore all the way, they would have told her she couldn't play anymore. So the fact that she was all conference honorable mention as hobbling around on that torn ACL was fantastic. I mean, it was just really, really cool to see that she had that type of presence for us. And so she scheduled her surgery a week after the season. So she had surgery in March, and then she's been preparing to come back ever since. So she had set out the whole summer, and then she came back late fall to be able to play. And she looks as good as she's ever looked. But I just love her grit and perseverance, man. That kid never gives up. Like it was such a traumatic experience for her to tear it twice. Because I'll never forget, we had a 6 a.m. workout, and she passed the shooting drill that we do, that we allow kids to shoot threes. And then she went to see the doctor later that day, and they told her that it was torn again, her ACL, as she was preparing for her junior year. So a lot of tears, but man, that kid just so mentally tough. And so she's finally worked her way back. I'm just so proud of her and who she's become and the leader she's become. She's such a great teammate. I had to stop practice the other day out, and I told the freshmen that were on bars, and I said, look at her. That is who you should model yourself after. That's who the teammate you should be. You see her in line, she's talking up, she's coaching up kids, she's clapping, she's cheering people on, she's coaching up the freshmen. I was like, that's what we look for as a leader at Plymouth. And so she epitomizes what we want a Plymouth athlete to look like.
Yeah.
So she's our go-to kid. Elena DiMaria, who's a junior, has had an amazing offseason. She kind of struggled at the varsity level as a sophomore. She's kind of got better touch. She's finishing around the rim better. She's shooting it better from outside. And she's got some length to her. So she's going to cause some problems for people. So just really, really excited about her improvement and her buy-in to the program because she definitely believes it and loves it. Um, then Avery Collins is our point guard coming back. She's a sophomore this year. We had to throw her to the Wolves last year as a freshman, and it was not easy for her. She was not ready for that experience, but she never got down on herself. She just continued to want to learn, and she dedicated herself to the weight room in the offseason to get a little more explosive. I think she grew a little bit because she is small, and she's shooting the ball better and playing more confidence and understand her role. So she's going to have a solid season, I believe. We have Zainab Saab, and she's our glue girl, man. She's tough as nails. She's willing to dive on the floor for loose balls. You're not going to out hustle her for a rebound. Everything you want a kid to do to help you win games, she will do. And then we have a really strong freshman class coming in that we're really excited about. They have the chance to be really, really good. We have Mackenzie Dickin, Jada Quinn, Evelyn Stiglish, Annie Flavin, and Emma Johnson. That's a really, really solid group of kids that we're going to kind of build along and give them some minutes at the varsity level, but also utilize them the fifth 5-quarter rule as well and have them play some JV so they get some confidence.
For sure.
Running out like our senior class, like Chloe McLean, she's come back from a knee injury as well. She's really battled back to give herself. She sat out last season. We really missed her leadership. We have Ashley Rosevitz back at guard. She's solid as well. A really good playmaker, quick. And Kaylin Simmons has done a really, really good job of leadership mentality for our kids and teaching young kids how we do go about practice and competing. So,
yeah, just a lot in there for sure. A lot of good girls coming back for your team. Let's talk about the schedule for a minute. We have I just pulled this up. It looks like you've got a pretty interesting opening few games to start the season.
Yeah, we head to River Rouge, which is I think a really good experience to walk into that traditional gym. I mean, there's a lot of games that have won in that gym, and they play a up-tempo style that I think our kids need to see. Then we have, I know we play Crestwood, who looked really, really improved this summer. They play like a 1-2-2 zone, but man, they were young last year, and I think they've really gotten better from what I saw in the summer. So that's gonna be a tough game because those kids are tough. We're looking forward to the game against Plymouth Christian. They're coming off a state championship run, and it'll be good for us to see where we are against a team like that. Churchill, Cale Morris is a really, really good coach over there, and I have a lot of respect for him and the program he runs. And so, yeah, it should be a good test for us all the way through, all the way until we get up to the KLA. And then over break, we play a ton of games too. So, I mean, Carlson was really, really good last year, really good. And they won a lot of games. And so that should be another good test for us to head over there downriver.
For sure. Speaking of the league, it's going to look a lot different, especially at the top. Obviously, Heartland and Brighton have 2 new coaches this year. Obviously, Don Palmer and Paul Ash have both stepped aside from their respective schools. To talk about them, and I know we talked a lot about this before, but learning from coaches that have done it for a long time, like Don and Paul, and
yeah, man, I have so much respect for Don and Paul. Don, I feel like took me under his wing as like a younger coach in the league. He talked to me about his experiences and how you have to continue to work and keep working at this, and don't get too down on yourself on losses, because he said nobody will ever feel bad for you. He talked about how he had lost like over 20 games in a row in his career. He said nobody feels bad for you. And then he's a heck of a coach, and they won a lot of games. So I had a lot of fun competing against them. And I think, like I said, Paul Ash at Brighton, I have utmost respect for him and his staff and the Brighton program. I mean, and when Brighton, people around the state, they talk toughness and they talk great defense, and those kids played the right way. And so I feel bad for the communities of Heartland and Brighton to lose such great coaches and great people. Like, talk about great mentors for young people. Like, those parents have to know, man, they just lost some big time role models that their young people really, really were lucky to have. So they were more about just winning, more than about winning games. They were teaching their kids how to live life the right way. So a lot of respect for those 2 coaches.
Yeah, and of course the 2 coming in are have some the two that are replacing them have some pretty high credentials as well.
Absolutely. I mean, Coach, is it Wellman?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was over at Midland Dow, and they've had a really, really good program. He kind of helped build them to put the blueprint in for how much success they're having now, I'm sure. And then the Heartland, what's her name?
Luplo.
Yep, and she did really well over at Saginaw Nouvelle, was it?
Yep.
Yep, and that's a tough league, and she did a really good job. So, but moving down and playing the KLA West is not easy. Every night in, night out, we have good players and good coaches across the league. I mean, there are no layups. I have a lot of respect for all the coaches in our league, and I think they do a really good job. So,
yeah, and of course that is Raina Luplo.
Yep.
So let's kind of go through what these first few games are going to look like for you guys. What do you want to see out of your team in these first few games? Because you're going up to River Rouge, then you're going to Crestwood, and then of course you come home to play Plymouth Christian before and then the end you play Novi before Christmas break.
Yeah. Every day we've been emphasizing this for our kids. Like, we need to get 1% better. Yeah. And so that's our focus. Like, be the best version of yourself on a daily basis, and usually everything else will take care of itself. We do need to shoot the ball better this year, and I think we are going to. We put a lot of work in that in the offseason and trying to improve that piece. And our turnovers, we got to handle the ball better this year. And I think we have kids in place that are going to take care of the ball. It's another year in the system where kids are growing up a little bit. So it'll be exciting to see how they continue to grow. But we're still young. We're still extremely young. I mean, Megan McCarthy is our lone senior back who has actual varsity experience. Everybody else is either a junior with some experience or freshmen or sophomores. So we're really excited about the future of the program, no doubt.
And of course, we're on the theme of losing coaches, like with Paul and Don. Of course, another mentor of yours, Mike Sukup. I know that I wanted to mention him because he also had a huge impact in your career as well.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be where I am today without him. Not only is he a great coach, he was a great friend to me. I was his assistant coach for a couple years when I was younger, before I became the varsity girls coach, and I used to just follow him around. Like, I just wanted to see how he conducted himself and the preparation that he put together to build a program. And that was just such a fun experience. I mean, I'll never forget the district championship we won, and then we had the conference championship as well that we won that last year. And we had such good kids, and it was such a fun run. But yeah, talk about, like, he is one of the most high character people I've ever met in my life. Like, I'm so lucky to call him a friend, and I'm really excited for him for Make Shots. And what's kind of been fun is we've been reunited because he's been working with my kids on shooting through the Make Shots program. So a lot of fun for him and I to reconnect in that way. So and we still stay in touch all the time. So I miss him, but I also think Andrew Mewson's doing a great job. He's young and hungry, and I think he's really good at building relationships with the kids, and he's got the kids believing in what he's going to do. And so I'm really, really excited for him, like, with this opportunity at Plymouth. And he's a lot of fun to work with so far. And so I can't wait to see him have some success as well.
For sure. All right. Well, Ryan Ballard, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us and talking some Plymouth girls basketball. We'll have you, let's have you on again throughout the year.
No problem. Go Cats.